Hey there, how's it going? Welcome to Dominions 5. My name's Mew. This time around I'm going to be playing a multiplayer game set in the Middle Age, and I'm going to be playing as Pythium. This video will be the intro for the series. I'm just going to talk briefly about the nation, the god that I've made, as well as the game settings, the map, the mods, all those little details, and anything else that might be important. And the next video that goes up in this series will be turn 1 to 3. So if you just want to see gameplay, you'll have to wait for that one. This video is just an intro. Anyway, I'll talk a little bit about Pythium and the god that I made now. First though, I have to say thank you to all of my Patreons for supporting the channel. I've really appreciated it, and continue to really appreciate it. And also thanks to everyone who's subscribed and been leaving comments and all that kind of nice stuff. You know, the YouTube stuff. I have to say the YouTube stuff, okay? I know it's awkward. It's awkward for both of us, but if you do enjoy this series, or any of the series on the channel, please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment. Alright, anyway, so Pythium is... I just played Stellaria. I just had a Stellaria game. Didn't go very well. I don't think I played them very well. I think Pythium might be cool though, because they're basically like Stellaria, but instead of having lots of death magic and skeletons, they have air magic and no skeletons. But besides that, they're pretty similar. They also have Hydras, but I don't know why you'd ever recruit those. They seem kind of bad. Yeah, so Pythium are essentially, if you watch the Stellaria series, it's essentially the same units, pretty much. It has like the Roman units, the Hestatus, the Princeps, all those guys I never remember the names of. It also has like the Gladiators and the Retiaris you can sort of recruit very, very quickly. Even has very similar mages. We have a Cat Mage that has H3, and then has Big Astral. The difference is, instead of having the death magic, we have air magic, and I think a bit of water and fire. And we can't animate skeletons, which is a big difference. You know, should probably say that is a very big difference. But other than that, pretty similar. So I went with a very similar god with a very similar theme. We are now Massive Bakery Chain Buyout, also a Divine Emperor. This game, like the other game, is running the JBBM balance mod. A really, let's say, impactful change in the most recent version of that balance mod is that you cannot take a Dominion 1 pretender imprisoned. So the little human guys people use for rainbows. You can't take those guys imprisoned. However, the Divine Emperor is basically a Dominion 1 pretender that you can take in prison because he's Dominion 2. So that quite nicely gets around that disadvantage in JBBM. Also, the Divine Emperor in JBBM has innate spellcaster, which makes him even better. So we went with him again, Divine Emperor. Different naming theme though, slightly. Slightly different. Because we're going to do better this time. We're going to be more disciplined. We're not going to be a trendy indie bakery. We're going to be a massive bakery chain, and hopefully play a bit better. I don't know. We have a very, very, very large bless and a very big rainbow. Even more so than in the Stellaria game. Again though, this is very much just a spellcaster bless. It also lets us, you know, forge an awful lot of boosters. And things like slave matrices and crystal matrices, which I think are going to be pretty important on this nation, because this is an extreme communion nation. We have little recruitable communion slaves that are units, which I don't think I've ever seen anywhere else on any nation. So that's kind of cool. You can only recruit one of them a turn, but yeah. You can have like automatic communion slaves as units. That's pretty interesting. So yeah, lots and lots of magic to do, lots of forging, lots of boosters, lots of useful items that are going to come in handy for our communions, and then a giant bless to just slap on mages. In theory, this also lets us cast an awful lot of globals as well. We can boost into some of the air globals, I think, pretty easily. The nature ones too. Astral globals, yep, no problem there. Lots of globals we'll be able to cast with this guy if we get the research done. But, again, long-time viewers of the channel will know, I do struggle to get research done sometimes. Trying to overcome that a bit here with the Magic 3, but we'll see how it works out. So let's see, what have we got for the bless here? We've got fire res, shock res, cold res. Pretty straightforward. Also got a little bit of poison res. So almost all of our bases are covered there as far as resistance goes. Could do with a bit more poison res, and magic res is always nice. But even so, yeah, pretty good. We have 4 levels of air in case we want to try and get air globals up. So the extra point of air goes into precision. Seems like a decent bless for spellcasters, why not? Got some earth then, especially to make sure that we can forge the crystal items for communions. Use that to get some reinvigoration. Only 1 point of it, but again, pretty nice for spellcasters. And then slap on mountain survival, because what else are you going to do with 1 point of earth magic? Nothing, unfortunately. So some mountain survival, maybe it'll come in handy. Probably won't though. For the astral component, some arcane finesse. Seems like a good one. +1 penetration. I still would really like to try the range bless instead, but I don't know. The thing about Pythium is that they have so much air and astral magic, and so many of those spells have like really long range. Because like Thunderstrike is like 100 range, right? And then all the astral stuff usually is as well. So putting spell range on that, I don't know, it doesn't seem great. There's an argument to be made though. We also have a lot of water magic, and long range Frozen Heart spam is always pretty surprising as well for people. But I went with the finesse anyway. I think penetration's pretty good. Why not? I also got 3 times Strong Vitae and 3 times Undying. That's 6 Undying hit points and 3 actual hit points. Always great for mages, always good for Communion Slaves as well. Especially when they've got regeneration on them. So that's pretty good as well. And Unaging. I've never taken this bless before because I didn't know how it worked. Because the description says you only age 1 year every 4 years. And I thought, oh, okay, so it makes you age more slowly. But apparently it also lowers your starting age, which I didn't realize. This makes it incredible for old age mages, and I had no idea. So Pythium has, I think all of our mages are old age, or certainly the big ones are going to be. And taking the Unaging Bless just completely eliminates that penalty, so that's really nice. It turns all of your decrepit old men into younger, sprier, 16 map move men. So I didn't realize it worked that way. I thought it literally just slowed your aging. I didn't know it actually changed your starting age. I might start taking that on more nations now that have old mages. Learn something there. Yeah, so it's a big bless. It's very much a spellcaster bless. I remember from my Phaeacia game that Thunderstrike communions are like really, really good early on. So I'm probably just going to go straight into Evocation after like 1 point of Thaumaturgy. Just so that we can do Thunderstrike communions. They seem pretty good. That might be an early target. And then I should probably get better at like getting big research targets done. It's tempting to try and get like this guy doing astral, what's it called? Master and Slave. Something cool like Master and Slave would be pretty interesting, I think. We'll try to get something high level research done in this game. That's the plan anyway. I don't know if it's going to work out. It never usually does. Anyway, it's a great chassis. It's a big bless. Our scales aren't too bad either to pay for it. Our only real negative scale is the Misfortune. I took 1 point of that, which is equivalent to Misfortune 2 in a vanilla game, I think. Because Misfortune is twice as bad in JBBM games, and Luck is twice as good. Didn't bother doing any growth. I think growth is kind of overrated. And again, in JBBM it's half as good as vanilla, so I don't know. I kind of wanted to have the productivity and the order though, rather than the growth at all. Order gives you lots of rec points, and since we seem kind of fragile early on, I think it's probably good to have a lot of rec points to recruit tons and tons of gladiators or retiarius if we need them. And then our actual troops that we want to be recruiting take, you know, a fair number of resources. So these two help us do all the recruitment we want to do. I don't think we need the growth. I think it's fine. Order also offsets some of the Misfortune as well. And after about 6 turns in this game, the game is currently on turn 8, but after about 6 turns in this game, I realized that our cat mages are also fortune tellers, which... well, not just our cat mages, our Thurgs and our Grand Thurgs are... yeah, they're fortune tellers. That also helps offset the Misfortune a bit as well. That's pretty nice. Magic 3, get some research done. We'll see if it happens in this game or not. As of turn 8, I am producing 0 research per turn. So, you know. But we'll see how it goes. And 4 Dominion because, yeah, all of this is, it's a lot to pay for. Our Dominion's going to be pretty low. We'll need to get some temples down. And we do actually want to get temples down as well because, yeah, our scales are pretty good. We want to spread them. That's the good, though. Hopefully this game goes a little bit better than the Miscellaneous game. We'll see. Anyway, this game is running the JBBM balance mod, which makes a small number of tweaks and changes to the game in the interest of balance. Pythium has some nation-specific changes, so let's go look at those. Computer, switch over to the Pythium screen, please. Thank you. Yeah, here we are. So, some of these things were changed very slightly. I don't think anything is too big, but I'll try to go over all the ones I remember. First up, the line troops promote into each other. So the Hastata promote into the Princeps, which promote into the Triarius. So you can see here they have the little promotion ability. So that's quite nice. Also, those 3 units specifically have 5 points of shock resistance. So that makes it a little bit easier to do Thunderstrike spam without, like, shocking all your own dudes. It's only a little bit of shock resistance, but even so. In JBBM, all of the, like, Roman nations get little resists like that. Miscellaneous had +1 magic resistance. We get +5 shock. So that's quite nice. Also, worth mentioning that the Triarius are slightly younger. So they're not all old age. They have decent map move, basically. Because these two have 16 map move. And in JBBM, these guys reliably have 16 map move as well. So pretty good. Battle Vestals have magic spears instead of mundane spears. Probably a nice change. Probably not going to recruit these units though, so who cares? And here's an interesting one. Hydras, no rec limit. If you really want to, you can recruit several Hydras per turn out of your cap. Do you want to? Remains to be seen. I think that's it for, like, the main changes though. Off the top of my head, I can't remember if there's anything particularly interesting otherwise. Pythium will be affected by some spell changes, I imagine. We can look at that actually, let's see. Well, although I don't really know. I don't really know what spells they usually get, but probably some stuff is maybe costed differently, I really have no idea. But I do know that those are the unit changes for the nation. This game is running another mod as well called snow.dm, and snow.dm just gives every single unit in the game snow movement. So it isn't enabled here. But yeah, in the actual game you'll see that every single unit for every single nation and all the indies, everything, they all have snow movement, which, I don't know, sometimes that changes things, sometimes it doesn't. Just depends. There's a third mod in this game, technically, but all that mod does is it renames one of the spells. So I don't know if it's really classed as a mod. But I will highlight that in the actual turn video when that comes up, so yeah. Be sure to subscribe so you get to see the next video and find out what spell has been renamed, guys. This is, you won't believe what spell has been renamed. My attempt at clickbait. Anyway, I think that's everything though, right? The map is going to be Eels, which is a Cartographic Revision map. I will put a link to Cartographic Revision in the description. It's a map generator, pretty good one. It's going to get an update soon. It hasn't been updated in ages, but I've seen Corbo back on the Discord. He's been talking about doing a big update to it, so that's pretty cool. I'll also put a link to JBBM. I'll put a link to the full JBBM changelog on Google Docs as well. You can look through all of the balance mod changes if you're interested. What else can I link to? That's everything, right? Yeah, I've covered it all. So there's my god, the nation. Went over the changes in JBBM. Map. Yeah. So thanks as always for watching. Fingers crossed this game goes well. I hope it does. I'm not a great player, but you know, I try my best. The first video in this series should be going up a couple of days from now, and hopefully I will see you then.